Hello my friends, while we take a break from my cooking videos, I'm going to be taking along as I spring clean my kitchen. I have recorded this video a while back and just getting around to sharing it, but better late than never. I am going to be going from cupboard, reorganizing things and showing you budget-friendly hacks to organize your own kitchen. You guys have enjoyed my kitchen tour video, so now it's time for me to show you how I organize it step by step. We are starting off in my oven. I want to do a deep cleaning in the oven. It is a self-clean oven, but I do have to remove the racks out, so that is what I'm going to do first. I was just double checking exactly how to do this because, believe it or not, it is the first time I'm cleaning it. I was a little bit scared to clean it because I've heard nightmares of ovens dying after this because the high heat fries the elements, but then I figured I did purchase extended warranty, so if this is bound to happen, it's best that it happens during that extended warranty time. So I removed everything. I'm going to take those to soak in my bathtub with some Dawn dish soap and then scrub them clean. But before I turn the self-clean oven function on, I do have to wipe any debris that's in there, just so if there's like heavy, I don't know if I guess I couldn't completely remove the heavy grease, but just little flaky things that are down there, I wiped them off, took them off, and then I turned the cycle on, and the cycle was about, I think it was 3.5 hours, and then half an hour for it to cool off, and the oven is locked during this time, so you cannot use it. I could use the burners on top, but not the oven. I wasn't planning on cooking during this time anyways. I had all my windows open because it does get quite stinky. I also removed the things off the fan and gave them a wash. These get so dusty and the dust just clings on the little grease particles. I don't even know whether you can quite see it here, but I'm so grateful that these are so easy to clean, although I did cut my fingers a couple times until I figured out how to do this. So I'm just washing up my little rag that I use to wipe down the stove. These things are great. They're from Norwex. The only complaint I have about them, they're white, so no matter, and they're washable. I do throw them in the washing machine with a little bit of bleach, and they get clean, but they never quite are white back again. They're off white now, so. But they're great at picking up any like little things, especially like rice and just small pieces, like if you spill your seasonings or anything like that. They're great at picking that stuff up. And they never smell because they're have all these little holes, so the bacteria can't really cling on to anything. It just kind of falls through. And I usually change out twice a week for a new one anyways. So like I was saying, I'm so grateful that these are so easy to clean. My last fan had completely more like a steel filter thing in there, and that was really hard to clean. These are super easy to clean. So I just want to say that I've had over 6 hours of footage in cleaning this kitchen. I really wanted to take you guys along through the whole process. The only issue I had, my camera for some reason kept turning off on me. So there are a couple areas that they did not record because I did not realize that it had turned off. I think it equals out to one drawer and one garbage drawer that I thought I was recording and it did not record, but everything else should be here. I'm not showing you washing windows or washing floors because I've shown you that for now like 3-4 videos in a row. I do show you, however, washing some of the walls as well as scrubbing the grooves in the floor because I'm still trying to figure that one out, what works best for that. So I'm going to start off with the kitchen at the back of the island where I have all of this extra storage. These are full-size cabinets. They are three double door cabinets here, and I have been keeping small appliances here that I use on more regular basis. I have another cabinet between the pantries that I keep my air fryers because they get almost used daily. But I have decided to move my Instapot and my slow cooker into this area, as well as some other ones, just because it was really hard to pull them down off the shelf where they were. So I'm going to clean this out, all these candles and all of these entertaining supplies. I have a full entertaining closet that I set up underneath my stairs in the basement, that these plates and charcuterie boards and baking dishes can go onto. They do not need to be here. I do not entertain weekly that they have to be here. So I'm going to sort through my candles, and then I'm going to get all this stuff out in a bin and off to the basement.
What's it like to be the one that he turns to when he's out of answers? What's it like to be the one that he comes to when he wants to dance? And I wonder what's that like? I've got him on my mind, but he doesn't know my name, and I'm running out of time. I wish you felt the same, and I'm acting stupid like every day. Don't know what to do or what I should say, 'cause I've got him on my mind, but he doesn't know my name. What's it like to hold his hand when he tells you that you're all he wants? And it's midnight, oh, I'm thinking about him. I have got him on my mind, but he doesn't know my name, and I'm running out of time. I wish you felt the same, and I'm acting stupid like every day. Don't know what to do or what I should say, 'cause I've got him on my mind, but he doesn't know my name. I wanna hold his hand, 'cause I can't stop thinking about him. And would he understand if I told him how I feel about him?
So adding these here, I think they're still going to be easily accessible, and they're just going to be a little bit easier to pick up, especially for my daughter. She's not quite tall enough to pull the stuff off, so I don't want her to drop it on her head because she doesn't want to grab a chair or something like that. So I think putting these here is a little bit of a better idea. I have also decided to put my pasta maker here as well. I have been recently back into using it on a little bit more regular basis, so I just wanted to have it handy here. I do have a shelf again in the basement where I have all of my small appliances. I used to have all of them there, but now I have things like meat grinders there. I have big roasting pan, rotisserie. What else do I have there? Yo Mama ice cream maker, and I think we have one of those griddles as well. So I don't really use those on a consistent basis, so they're okay to be there. And then once I clean the inside of the cabinets, I do give the outside of the cabinets a wipe down. So I'm going to repeat the same process for the other two. Now the other two, I'm pretty much keeping stuff that's in there. I'm just going to maybe reorganize it a little bit.
What's it like to hold his hand when he tells you that you're all he wants? And it's midnight, oh, I'm thinking about him. I have got him on my mind, but he doesn't know my name, and I'm running out of time. I wish you felt the same, and I'm acting stupid like every day. Don't know what to do or what I should say, 'cause I have got him on my mind, but he doesn't know my name. I wanna hold his hand, 'cause I can't stop thinking about him. And would he understand if I told him how I feel about him? Oh, 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 oh. I have got him on my mind, but he doesn't know my name, and I'm running out of time. I wish you felt the same, and I'm acting stupid like every day. Don't know what to do or what I should say, 'cause I have got him on my mind, but he doesn't know my name. He doesn't know my name.
So here is how everything looks. I'm very pleased with all the space that I have here, and I was able to include so many of the small appliances in here. I probably don't need the second slow cooker here, but I have room for it, so I just kept it there. And here is the stuff that's going into the basement along with the candles. I'm going to put those in my shelves in the entertainment closet, as I call it, and this is just some stuff that I'm going to donate. And now we're going to move on to floating shelves and coffee area, and I've taken all of the decor off. I'm going to wipe down my light fixture here, and then I'm going to dust all the shelves. I love watching these type of videos where you know, you're doing the major deep cleaning and then also reorganizing or just organizing already organized drawers. It's just nice to see how people organize their kitchens and get tons of ideas. You know, maybe they're cleaning an area with something that you never thought of and you struggle with. So if I can, you know, help or inspire a couple people through these videos, then I am a happy person, because I know these type of videos help me out a lot, and also they motivate me to get some stuff done as well.
Right now I'm standing in the corner. I see you from across the room.
I'm trying my best not to constantly show you my back, but some of these areas are inevitable. And look how disgusting this corner is. The coffee beans get spilled all the time when they're being poured, and sometimes we don't see them because it's right behind. I did buy this mat on Amazon. It's water absorbing mat, because this coffee maker does occasionally will leak water if we don't empty the bottom water trap, which happens often. Hate to admit it, but so it does leak a little bit, and then coffee mixed with water, it does stain the cords a little bit. Now it's not a permanent stain, it is something that can be removed, but it does stain it. I know that somebody had mentioned on one of my other channels that they never heard of quartz staining, but it does stain if I am cooking with turmeric and I spill some turmeric. Within seconds, if I try to wipe it off, it will have a yellow stain. And then I do have to use a little bit of a hard, stronger cleaner than just plant-based, which is what like more earth-friendly cleaners. But this one says it's earth-friendly, but it does have bleach in it, so I'm not quite sure. But it does a really great job. It's probably the best one to clean. It is Vim. And then I just use a Scrub Daddy to kind of move it all around, and then I let it sit for maybe a minute or two, and then I go in, scrub it a little bit more depending on how tough the stain is, because this one had a little bit of time of sitting here, so it is a little bit tougher. And then I wipe it with just a damp cloth until all the vim is off, and then I usually will either just buff it out or go in with some quartz or granite cleaner. After I find I use the method one, and I do know that although it makes the quartz nice and shiny, it does not remove any stains. It has I haven't had any luck with it. I know somebody said you should always use Barkeeper's Secret. It works, but not as good as this one. Norwex paste works very well as well. I'm just all out of it. And I haven't tried the pink stuff on the counter because I'm a little bit scared that it might scratch it. It shouldn't, because quartz is supposed to be pretty scratch resistant, but I just worry. So I know these things work. The Vim was actually recommended by the gentleman that was installing the quartz to get it, that it is one of those inexpensive cleaners that do a really great job. For my tile, I just use a Norwex EnviroCloth that I just wetted with some water. I do not want to put any harsh cleaners for that because the grout is sealed, and if I put any cleaners, it will take it off, the sealer off. I also wipe down the walls. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know I have 2 dogs. One of them is half Newfie, and he does drool, and sometimes when he shakes the head, you'd be surprised in places that I find drool. So I always have to wipe down walls as well. And I'm going to use the Norwex EnviroCloth to wipe down all of my cupboards as well.
Here, but I know you see me too. Everybody's singing, oh, everybody's singing, oh. I don't know what it is about you. It must be in the way you move. Just say you want me to.
For my coffee maker, I just would like to wipe it down. My husband's usually in charge of cleaning the inside of the coffee maker, running, descaling it, and all the fun stuff, but I do clean the outside of it. We love this coffee maker. It is one of the best ones that we have ever owned. It is the Longines Dynamica, and we did get it on Amazon, and it can make iced coffee as well, and it comes with a frother that I'm yet to figure out how to use.
Got nothing to lose. You're looking so old. You're looking so old. Now I'm moving closer to you, and it's getting dark in this room. Tell me what you wanna do. Baby, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love you, let me love you. Baby, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love, baby, let me love you. Just say the word and we can leave.
Now over in the coffee station in the drawers, I have my tea collection. We do enjoy our teas, three of us, my daughter, my husband, and I. So we have a variety, and we seem to gravitate towards the Stash brand and their seasonal flavors. But I have these bamboo dividers here, and I had bought several of them when I originally was organizing the kitchen. And I didn't know what I exactly wanted to do in this drawer. And I got them at Dollarama. They were like $3 each. And they haven't had them since then. And I'm struggling with paying what the Amazon wants for them, knowing that I pay how much I paid for them originally. So I'm holding out that they will come up with, we'll get them back in the store again. I would only really need 2, so it's not a big deal even if I were to purchase them on Amazon, but you know, it is what it is. So I keeping the teas now in the boxes that they came in, and I just take a box and I cut off the lid and the sides, and then I put it back in. I will show you that in just a second how I exactly do it.
I'll take you anywhere you want. As long as we're together, everything we'll do. You got me going, oh. You got me going, oh. Now I'm moving closer to you, and it's getting dark in this room. Tell me what you wanna do.
In my next drawer, I keep my mugs as well as my travel mugs. Most of my mugs are Disney mugs from Disney parks, but this is just a small collection of them. I have a ton on a display upstairs. They don't get used because they're more based on like the year we went, the season we went, special festival we went to, the hotel we stayed in, that type of thing. We are a big Disney family and go to parks often, although I feel like I haven't been for a while, but and I like to always get some mugs. Now this bottom drawer, I never really had any type of organization set up. Everything just kind of got dumped down there that was coffee or tea related. So I did want to kind of organize it. It is probably going to have overflow of coffee and tea, and then just frother. I have a green tea frother here as well. So just keeping things like that in here that are coffee related.
Baby, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love you, let me love you. Baby, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love, let me love. Baby, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love you, let me love you. Baby, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love, let me love. Baby, let me love you. When I look in your eyes, I don't know how, but it feels like I'm drunk on you. It's almost like you make me fly.
I have recently been doing quite a bit of readings about coffee and the way they grow coffee and all that stuff, the coffee beans, and I have learned that coffee bean is one of the most sprayed plant out there, so it is beneficial if you can to purchase organic. So I have been trying out different organic coffee. I did discover this one. It is organic Balzac's coffee from Costco, and it was on sale, so I picked it up. We did try it a while back and we weren't sure about it. I know we like 100% Arabica beans, and they have to be kind of medium roast. Some of them end up tasting a little too strong. Some of them end up tasting a little weak. We did settle on Irresistible coffee, which is from Food Basics, but it is not organic, and so we're just trying different kinds. I did order Melita coffee from Amazon as well. That was organic, and again, I don't want to spend a ton of money. The one that we buy is $14 for a kilo. Balzac was on sale for $14. Originally $17. And the one that I ordered on Amazon, I think it was $18 or $21. I can't quite remember. Here is a tea that I had grown in my garden and made. It is made from chamomile plant and mint leaves. So I had those in my garden, and I picked them and dried them, and voila, tea. That's something that my grandmother used to make all the time. So I wanted to give it a try, and it does taste pretty good. And then I had a whole bunch of just peachy, which is one of my favorite teas for like a cold tea. Iced tea, I guess I would say, from David's Tea. And I like mixing it with a little bit of a lemon, just squeezed out lemon and honey. And it tastes like one of those peach lemonade refreshers from Starbucks, but much healthier and much more economical to make it at home. So I have a whole bunch of these that I had purchased. So I just wanted to put them all in one jar. And then I also have couple other iced teas that I'm going to put in a jar as well, just to keep them all together instead of having all these little bags laying around.
When I look at you smile, I don't know how, but it feels like I'm drunk on you. It feels like I'm drunk on you. It feels like I'm drunk on you.
So I think this drawer is looking much better, a little bit more organized. And then I'm going to finish it off by wiping the counter back up again, because I did mess it up a little bit with all the spills. And then I'm also going to wipe the front of the cabinets. I'm going to put the coffee maker back here, and then as I mentioned before, we're going to do some decorating at the end of the cleaning. So as you probably see, I'm kind of moving from the right side to the left side of the kitchen, and we're going to be working on my above the fridge cabinet. Now I'm not moving out the fridge or the stove, which usually is a big part of my deep cleaning as well, but we have recently had some service done on the fridge because the ice maker broke. So I had pulled out the fridge then and got it all cleaned up, and then we thought we had a gas leak on a separate occasion, probably within a week from getting the fridge serviced, and we pulled out the stove when the city came to check for the gas, and so I had cleaned it up then as well. So I'm not going to be doing that in this video. So here above the fridge, I keep usually I will keep my sourdough starter here, as well as any dough that is fermenting, because it's a very warm spot right above here, so it's a great spot for that. That usually goes where the salad spinner is, but I only have a salad spinner on that shelf, and above it I have a pasta bowl and a iced tea maker. It's a pitcher that separates water and ice, so I keep that there. And then I have a divider that came with the kitchen here for cutting boards. It's supposed to be for, you could use it also for like cookie sheets and stuff like that, but all of my cookie sheets are either cast iron or stone, so I feel like it's too heavy to be above there, and I really don't want to be pulling cast iron from something so high and clonking myself in the head. So I keep cutting boards here. I have my French baguette pans here, and then I also have just some risers for baking pans when I'm making like baking chicken in the oven, just to lift it up, and also some cookie cooling racks here as well, or baking racks. So that's all that's in here. Not too messy, not much to organize. Beside the fridge, I have an upper cabinet that I keep all of my kind of cooking and baking supplies. I should say more cooking than baking, but I guess measuring cups can go either way. So I have my slicers up top and choppers, and then the two baskets are supposed to hold like cheese graters and I think cheese graters, and also like nut graters and stuff like that. And then I also have my measuring cups, measuring spoons, all that on the bottom shelf. And underneath it, I have a garage door, and that is where I keep my microwave. When we were remaking the kitchen, I really did not want to have all these appliances on my counter and showing. It's just not something that I wanted. So, and I don't love the microwave above the stove. I could live without a microwave. We barely use it ever. I warm up most of the stuff on the stovetop. I defrost my bagels in there, which I should probably just pre-cut them and toast them, so I don't have to use that either. My kids use it more than I do, but again, we don't use it that much. So I have a very small microwave just for those bare necessities that I come across that I have to use the microwave. I will use it, but like I said, it's a small, barely fits a dinner plate in there. Now underneath I have my Ziploc, my aluminum foil, Ziploc bags, my aluminum foil, my parchment paper, and all that fun stuff here. So I should go out and get a little bit more Ziploc bags. I would like to get snack size ones and maybe smaller freezer bags, but for now I just have the big freezer bags and the sandwich bags, but it doesn't fit the whole package from Costco, which I'm pretty sure none of them do because it is fairly big. And I'm going to just organize this, wipe it down, clean it out, and just make it look a little tidier. Now these clear protectors, I've shared how I organized my kitchen originally, and they came from Dollarama. They had nice rolls of them, so I bought a ton of rolls, and they've been working out really well. They're really easy to clean, so I don't have to constantly replace them, and they keep my drawers protected. Now this is where the mess and organization's gonna come into play. This drawer is supposed to be for all of my fridge storage containers, and then underneath it is all of my Tupperware, because my daughter still takes herself lunch to school and to work, so I have some of that. And then I also pack up snacks if I'm out with the kids, with the daycare kids. I like to have some containers for that, for either pack a snack for myself or and for them, or just for them. So I like to have some Tupperware containers, but this has definitely gotten out of hand. So I'm just going to take everything out and then I'm going to organize it. Now I do think that this is looking much better. Not sure if I quite need as many, but we'll see how it goes. Now the drawer beside the stove. I keep all of my cooking utensils. This was one of the items that my husband requested. He did not want it to have crocks with utensils in it, even though I do think that that is visually pleasing, but he was adamant and not having this, so we did put this drawer in here for that reason. But just like my Tupperware drawers, I like to have a system where I keep my wooden spoons and spatulas, plastic kind of silicone spatulas together, then all the like soup ladles and other spatulas separate, and then maybe utensils that I don't use on regular basis in a third one. So I'm just going to give this a wipe down, and I'm going to wash the containers and organize them accordingly. And I also want to say that the bottom shelf, I do not know what to do with that bottom shelf. I did try to put some barbecuing utensils in there, but my husband didn't like that. So I really don't know what to use it for. If you have any ideas what I could put at that bottom shelf, I would love to know what you think I should put in there. But for now, it's going to stay empty. Now I'm going to move up into my corner unit up top, and this is pretty much holds our water bottles and then medicine for us, and then I also have some ear cleaning stuff for the dogs. So I just wanted to go through all the medicine and vitamins and make sure I toss anything that has expired, and it also needed a little bit more of an organization in there as well. So once I have organized everything, I did take the water bottles down as well, and then I wiped down all the shelves and wiped down all the shelf protectors, put them back in, and then just added bins back in there. And I was able to eliminate one bin. behind the cabinet over, I have all of my daycare dishes and utensils here, and then I also have my glass containers that I store food in as well, and especially if I'm putting them in a freezer. And then I just have my Benetton basket as well as my plastic mixing bowls. So I'm going to, this definitely looks a little different than what it did if you watched my original video when I was setting everything up, because I had to make space for the daycare dishes. Eventually I would like to have a little kitchenette set up in a basement for all the dishes, but for now they're gonna be on this bottom shelf. Now for the bottom corner cabinet, I could not put my camera in there and myself, so I'm just giving you a shot of what it looks like before, once I removed everything, and then I wiped it down and organized it. Here I keep all of my baking dishes and my cookware. I have all of my cast iron and stone here, and I used a file divider to keep my muffin pans and my griddle and my pizza stones organized. And now we're gonna move on to one of my least favorite things, is cleaning this stove top, the cooktop, I guess. Yeah. Everybody's a cook in my family, and everybody makes a mess, and we seem to be pigs when it comes to cooking. This thing has to be cleaned at least, like deep cleaned at least once a week. If I don't, it's a disaster the next week. Pretty much have to wipe it down every night just to keep things from burning on and kind of being stuck on there. So I will be using a method degreaser. I'm going to spray it down, and then I'm going to let it sit for about half an hour, and then I'm going to go with the Scrub Daddy and wipe everything down. If need be, I do use a scraper to scrape things off. It does not scratch anything off. I have learned this recently, because when I was trying to sell my old stove when we were redoing our kitchen, it was quite messy. Things were burnt on there. I could never get it off with just a cleaner. Nothing worked. No, like I even used harsh oven cleaners to get it off. Nothing ever worked. And then I watched a couple YouTube videos, and they all use the little scraper to remove all that, and it worked like magic. So ever since then, I've been using it. You can actually buy, if you did not know this, you can buy a set at Home Depot that comes with a little paste, little scrubbing pad, and then also a scraper, and it is meant for these type of cooktops. It does not scratch. I would not go full force and press as hard as you can. I do it gently, but it does not scratch at all. So like I said, I'm going to spray this down, let it sit, use a Scrub Daddy to wipe that down. Then I'm going to use a cloth to take everything off, and then I'm also going to just spray that with an all-purpose cleaner just to kind of buff it out and clean up any residue that was left behind. For my cast iron grates, I'm just going to wash them with soap and water. I know you're not supposed to wash cast iron with soap and water, but I do it. And then if I find that they are very dry, I will season them a little bit with oil. And then also the little round things that go on top of where the flame comes out, I'm just going to wash those. I do not put oil on those. I did that once and then all I had was smoke happening, so that was a big mistake. So I don't do those. But the grates, if they need, I will season them with olive oil, but this time they did not need it, so I just wash them with hot soapy water and gets all the grease and stuff that gets all built up in there cleaned. Now I do not wash the grates weekly. It's more like maybe once a month. I do wipe them down as needed, but I don't wash them. Since it took me literally a whole week to clean my kitchen this way, because I've worked at little periods of time, I did deep clean my oven over the weekend because I didn't want to clean it while the kids were here, daycare kids were here. But this is the next day that I'm wiping it down on the inside and on the outside. The cleaning did get a lot of the stuff off of the window here, but I am going to use the pink stuff and Scrub Daddy just to get the rest of it off. Now I'm going to move on to my tile. I'm just going to wipe it down again with just a wet, damp, this time paper towel, because I have ran out of all of my cleaning rags by this point. So I had to wash them to proceed further, but just to clean everything off, and this works quite well. The tiles aren't that dirty. I also wiped down my faucet here. I absolutely love having this faucet here. It was a bit of a splurge, but so worth it. Now the fan on the inside, I was going to use the degreaser there. I let it sit for a little bit. I probably should have done this first before I cleaned my stovetop, but because it dripped a little bit, so I did have to rewipe it. But the degreaser did not work very well on that fan there, so I ended up getting a little bit of a Dawn dish soap on top of the paper towel, and then that seemed to take it off quite well. I didn't want to use I actually used a Scrub Daddy in that paper towel to clean that off, and it worked really well. You just don't want it to be soaked because the electricity is in there and all that stuff. So just a damp with a little bit of Dawn dish soaps. And for the top, I did use the degreaser again, and that worked really well. I was mentioning this a while back that ever since I started milling my own flour, the amount of dust that settles on top of this fan especially is ridiculous. I'm going to move on to the next set of cabinets, and here I have some of my baking supplies again, and then I also have some citrus presses and things like that. So I'm going to condense that into one and move some of this stuff over into the basket beside the fridge, because I did leave some room there for that. But here I have plates and bowls, and I'm going to get rid of all those glass little bowls. They are from creme brulee that came from Costco, and I thought I'd be using them for just organizing my spices when I'm cooking, but I just haven't been reaching for them, and I've had them now for over a year. So I'm going to toss those in probably a donation bin, and then or maybe I'll keep them for a DIY. I haven't decided yet. And then I'm going to also get rid of the little dishes there, the little white dishes, because they are part of a charcuterie board, and I'm going to take all that downstairs. So like I said, I have my plates, my big plates, small plates, my bowls, scales here, and then the next set of cabinets has my glasses, my glass dishes, and then it also has some of my sifting things for the dough for my flour as well.
Be wrapped around your arms instead of being lonely. We could be gazing at the stars, but now it feels just like I wandered off into a room and closed the door behind me. I never gave the key to you, even though I wanted to. I should be trying something new, but now my body's aching. I'm tired of dwelling in the dark, it's just that my heart can't take it. I didn't know what it would cost me when I let you go. I feel alone, and I'm just singing, It should have been you. Another time, another place, I just know. It could have been you. What a crime and what a shame to let go. Sometimes I just don't know what to do. It should have been you. I could be driving to your place, but now the ground is shaking. Could be a phase, but it feels like it will never go away until we make up. I can't be myself. I never knew how much I needed you. Should have been you. Another time, another place, I just know. It could have been you. What a crime and what a shame to let you go.
So once I'm done with this, the upper cabinets, I move on to another one of these narrow drawers and beside the stove, and here I keep all of my cooking oils and my seasonings that I use on a regular basis, a few times a day. So I have my olive oil, big olive oil, then I also have my sesame oil here. I do have rice vinaigrette here as well, which I don't use that often, but it is here. And then I also have avocado oil and olive oil in one of those spray bottles as well. And then I have salt, 2 different salts, pepper, and then Vegeta, which I use daily. And I think that's about it. And then underneath I have a regular vinegar. Just the bottle for it is a little tall. And then I also have my coconut oil, and then also I'm going to add ghee here as well. It was in my pantry. So just pretty much things that I use daily and few times a day is here.
What a crime and what a shame to let you go. Sometimes I just don't know what to do. 'Cause it should have been you. It should have been you. I could be wrapped around your arms instead of being lonely. It should have been you. Another time, another place, I just know. You could have been the one who made me feel home. What a crime and what a shame to let go. Ooh, it should have been you. Another time, another place, I just know. You could have been the one who made me feel at home. What a crime and what a shame to let you go. Sometimes I just don't know what to do. It should have been you.
Next drawer has some of those dividers in there, and I have one section for my rolling pin, marble rolling pin, because that's pretty heavy and I wouldn't want to roll it off from a shelf onto the floor. And then I have my oven mitts and then just knives, and the reason why I have knives in here is because they do not fit into my cutlery drawer. Although I do not need this many knives, so I did declutter a couple of them, and I was gonna talk to my husband and see which ones he wants to keep maybe in our camping bin, or which ones we're just gonna toss. Some of them we don't, like the lever, we don't use on regular basis, so they can go into fruit cellar. And then I have my sharpening stone and this little sharpening tool, which I do keep here as well. So I'm going to clean this up, and now this is the area where my camera did die. Underneath it I have my kitchen rags, and underneath that drawer is I just have two non-stick frying pans and some lids that we keep for making eggs. So for some reason, like I said, the camera turned off. I never realized when I was cleaning up those drawers, so I did clean them up. They just I just didn't record it. Now I'm going to move on to my cutlery drawer. I love this thing. It holds so much stuff with this top and bottom sections, but so much, I don't even know, it's not even dirt, it's like crumbs and things like I get into this. I do not know why. There's always crumbs inside my cutlery drawer, so I took everything out, vacuumed everything down, wiped it down, and then put everything back in. Underneath my cutlery bin, I have 2 deep drawers, and I keep all of my pots and pans in these 2 drawers. When we were designing the kitchen, I did not want it to have cupboards. I wanted drawers, so that was a little bit of a price tag, but honestly, so worth it. So I forgot about this area that the camera had died when I was cleaning this, but it would have been so satisfying to see all the crumbs that were here from the toaster. So this is another garage door cabinet that I keep my kettle, my blender, my sandwich maker, and my toaster here. These are things we use every single day, and I like to have them hidden away. I've seen these garage doors, and it's so pretty inside. Mine is just very functional, nothing pretty about it. And underneath it, I keep my large cutting boards, and I just needed to organize them a little bit better. I also have my large strainer that only fits a certain way into this drawer, and right now it wasn't fitting very well. It was rubbing the top of the cabinet, so I needed to figure out how to rearrange it so I can put that back in. Originally I was going to keep it out, but I did bring it back in there. Now underneath here I have all of my pre-workout, post-workout, my greens, my collagen, all sorts of stuff. All of my portion control cups are in here. And believe it or not, all those cups for shakes, sometimes there's not one in there because the whole family uses it, and my kids feel the need to keep them in their room for a couple days at a time. So Now, I did spring clean this a while back at a separate time, but I thought I'd insert this as well so you can see how it all looked before and how it went. So this drawer obviously needed heavy duty cleaning, so I had emptied it completely. It is where I store all of my shakes, pre-workout, post-workouts, and anything that I make my morning juice with is in here. So I went ahead and gone to Dollarama and picked up some of these glass jars. I've used them in organizing my pantry already, so I did use them here. I had to measure out, make sure that they fit into the drawer, and they did. And then I had put all of the stuff in it, and it looked absolutely amazing. I hope it stays that way. Now, this bottom cabinet was another one of those cabinets that really did not serve purpose. I had barbecue items here, I had a handheld blenders here, I had my marinating basket, my vegetable basket for the barbecue, and I had my pan, my water pan that for whenever we're doing rotisserie on the barbecue, or if I'm baking bread and I need steam, I use that there. So I did wanted to reorganize this a little bit, and I'm going to clean it out and then organize it and put some things in a different spot. So here's my pantry area, and we will be focusing on the two long pantries and a middle drawer in this video. I've got some fantastic new containers to share with you today. These will not only keep my pantry looking sleek, but also make it easier to find everything. I picked these up from HomeSense, and if you didn't know, I am located in Ontario, Canada, and HomeSense is like Home Goods. These were very reasonably priced. The big glass container was $16.99, and the set of 3 containers were $29.99. I'm going to wash these and let the air dry until I'm ready to use them.
There's a storm coming, and I need a hand to hold, with the fear of being here on my own, with the wind's blowing and the leaves they turn to gold, like they did with you those summers ago. I can't stop thinking about those years ago, when sleeping next to you was usual. I'd rather spend a lifetime on my own than ever been in love those years ago. But now remembering is all I know.
First things first, I need to clear out the shelves. It's time to take everything out of the pantry and see what we're working with. I'm going to go shelf by shelf and wiping them clean, as well as wiping the shelf liners clean. If you want to see my very first video on how I set all this up last year, I will link it up in the corner for you to see. So let's speed through this process.
There's a storm coming, summer's just around the bend, and my bottle's empty once again, and my feet's burning on the roads we used to walk, where the rivers walked along with us. Sure. a storm coming. I am ready for the cold. I'll be better when the summer.
Spices can be a real challenge to keep organized. I have organized the most used spices in these containers with wooden lids that I picked up at Dollarama, and I printed my own labels for them. I have some loose spices that I need to go and place in their appropriate containers before I put these back.
It's gone. Now the wind's blowing, and I'm right back here again. It might take a while, but I understand that I keep thinking about those years ago when sleeping next to you was usual. I'd rather spend a lifetime on my own than ever been in love those years ago. I can't stop thinking about those years ago when sleeping next to you was usual. I'd rather spend a lifetime on my own than ever been in love those years ago. But now remembering is all I know. Hey, you're good at making me lose my mind, but I always come around, don't I?
So all of my spices are sorted based on their use. So the ones that I use the most, then I have other savory ones, and then sweet and baking spices. This is just to save me time and my family's time when we're cooking. The right side of the pantry focuses mainly on cooking and the left side's on baking.
And I know sometimes I'm bringing you down, but I always make you smile, don't I? We're like the waves on a big blue stormy sea. But still you're the one.
So beside the spices on these few shelves, I do house my pasta as well as rice and quinoa here, and some soup noodles. I am going to be making some of my homemade soup noodles. I usually have my mother-in-law give some to me, but I've decided it's time for me to start making my own. And I also do make a lot of the times when I make dinner, I do make my own pasta, but I like to have pasta on hand for my kids to be able to just make quick lunches for themselves. I know that I can pre-make homemade pasta as well and just keep it in the jars, in the freezer I mean, but I just like to have some on hand.
Brings out the best of me. We're a little messed up, baby, kinda up and down, and we keep going till we hit the ground, but then
So I'm sure I mentioned it before, and I will mention it again probably, but eventually I would like to get all the same jars, but the mason jars is what I was using before I switched to the wooden labels, with the glass jars with wooden labels. So over here, all the spices that I have are the ones that I occasionally use, or spice mixes.
we get back up again. Yeah, we're a little messed up, baby. It's never getting boring when we keep aiming for the stars, just you and me. Ooh, we always get back up again. You and me. Ooh.
And this middle drawer used for our supplements, and I thought some of these new containers are going to be good to keep our protein powders in. However, I did know that the big one is not going to fit in the middle drawer, so I'm going to keep it in the right pantry on the bottom. The bottom drawer, as you saw it, didn't really have a purpose. I'm also going to clean the middle drawer and just straighten everything out.
You and me. There is no one else who can make me feel like I can do anything I dream
figure it out, don't we? Yeah. We're like the waves on a big blue stormy sea. We're a little messed up, baby, kinda up and down, and we keep falling till we hit the ground, but then we get back up again. Yeah, we're a little messed up, baby, it's never getting boring when we keep aiming for the stars, just you and me.
Now let's move over to the left side of the pantry, and the few top shelves are used for overflow. The top two ones that is an individual door, they're for things that that haven't been opened, and then the top shelf in the pantry part, I have some open items as well as some dog treats. Some of the open bags I can add to their appropriate jars, as the jars were looking a little empty.
I've never felt like this. What are you doing to me? It only took one kiss to know that you're everything I need, everything I need. So tell me now, because I just have to know. Do I make you wanna run away with me? Do I really make you feel like you don't need anyone? Do I make you wanna run?
Then the next shelf houses most of the breakfast items. I also keep some fishy crackers here that I use for daycare.
Just be wild and free. Do I really make you feel like you don't need anyone else? Like you don't need anyone else? Because all I need is you. The way you play with your hair, now you're always wearing linen. Yeah, everything about you.
And the next shelf is for bread and treats. I don't typically buy too many treats, as I have a hard time controlling myself with those, and my kids don't really need them. My kids are adults now anyways.
Is the reason I can't spend one more day without you. Oh, so tell me, girl, 'cause I really wanna know. Do I make you wanna run away with me? Do I really make you feel like you don't need anyone? Do I make you wanna run? Just be wild and free.
And the last two shelves are primarily for baking and such things. I make my own granola bars, granola, and many other healthy treats, so a lot of the jars are here for that.
Really make you feel like you don't need anyone else, like you don't need anyone else, because all I need is you. Oh, won't you run away with me?
I need this drawer to be simply organized and well labeled, because my daughter does do a lot of baking, so I want her to be able to easily access any supplies that she might need, any ingredients that she might need.
I've never felt like this. What are you doing to me?
To that large glass jar that I had purchased, I'm going to add my hard wheat berries. I have just started milling my own flour, so I have gotten some hard and soft wheat berries as well as some kamut berries, and they all need a container to be stored in.
Like you don't need anyone to make you wanna run. Just be wild and free. Do really make you feel like you don't need anyone else. Like you don't need anyone else. Because all I need is you. Oh, all I need is you. Hey.
So I'm quite pleased with everything, how everything turned out. So I'm going to give you a little tour. I know a lot of the stuff was already in place, the organization, but I just needed to straighten it out. So on top shelf, as I said, is an overflow of stuff, but I also moved my vanilla syrup and my honey up there, as well as some jars for overnight oats. Then the other one stayed for breakfast. This is for bread and snacks, like I said, store-bought snacks. And then here is all of my baking supplies type of stuff, and also my things for granola bars and granola, and just really anything, any type of baking is in here. And then on the bottom is all of my flours and my wheat berries. I have, like I said, I have 3 different types of wheat berries. I have whole wheat flour, there's coconut flour, there's semolina flour for pasta, almond flour, like all sorts of different flours are in here. And then moving on to here, I'm going to start at the top. So the very top shelf has my cookbooks, which you'll see at the end. And then here is my jar stuff that I buy. This is pretty much it. I don't buy too much jar stuff. And then my everyday spices are here. Then we've got like I said, just items that I reach, the spices that I reach to for most. And then here are my pasta, rice, and quinoa. And then over here are other spices, spice mixes, and things like that. Eventually I would like to do all those jars with nice lids, but for now this is it. And then the bottom has the protein powders that did not fit in the middle drawer, and some beans. But here is where my Instant Pot and my slow cooker were. So I have taken some stuff from one of the pantries and just sorted them into these baskets, and I'm going to put these baskets over the top of the air fryers and keep that a little bit more organized that way. And I think this will work better than what I had here before. And then over here where I had all the noodles and all the stuff, I'm going to just have a shelf for dog treats, and then extra overflow of fishy crackers, as well as all the s'more stuff that we're going to be needing for the summer, because we have a big fire pit and s'mores seems to be a thing at our house. And then over here I just straighten out all the cookbooks, kind of rearrange them so they sit a little bit better. Now, I am even too embarrassed to show you guys this, but this is our junk drawer. So I need to pull everything out and reorganize it, vacuum up anything that needs to be vacuumed up, and just try and keep it this way for a while, but we'll see how that goes. So I always like to put all the receipts, because whenever we go shopping, we put all the receipts in this drawer, and then I do transfer them into a Ziploc bag, and they go upstairs in a bin, which they get sorted later on. Probably should just sort them right out of my pocket to make my life a little bit easier. So in case if you haven't figured out, the junk drawer is in an island, and underneath that I do have a pull-out drawer that we kind of, I wouldn't want to say designed it ourselves, but kind of came up with how we wanted it to look, and we actually even built it based on that container of food that we have, because that container keeps the whole giant bag of dog food, and I just did not want it to have a container sitting out on the floor in the kitchen. So this is a great way to hide it. I was trying to figure out how to remove this drawer, but couldn't figure it out, and my husband wasn't at home to see if I can get him to try it. So I just vacuumed behind it. There was just some food there, and so I wanted to get that vacuum. I also vacuumed up the drawer, wiped it down, organized some treats, and then I also wiped the lid off. That shiny stuff on top of that lid is Duke's drool, so I did wipe that down as well. I did go out and give boys some treats, those from that orange bag. So I think this looks much better now. And then I'm going to clean out the front of the cabinets, and then I did also clean out my garbage bin area, and this is where the camera died, which I think would have been another great thing to share because it was dirty, so it would have been very satisfying to watch it get cleaned. So once I emptied out all the garbage out of the garbage area, I took it out, and then I took the recycling out. The bins needed to get washed because they were very stinky and very dirty. So I use dish soap to wash them, and then I did spray them with some Lysol before I put any bags in there. I did let that air out for a bit before I put the bags in. Get ready for some incredible Dollar Tree organizing hacks that will elevate your kitchen game without breaking the bank. But before we jump into the organizing and cleaning, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our budget-friendly tips and tricks and lots of home decor. Now let's declutter, organize, and beautify the under the sink space together. Let's get started. First things first, I'm going to remove all of the stuff that's in here and clean the bottom of the cabinet. I do have a protective sleeve on here, so I'm just going to wipe that down because it's still in a great condition, so there's no point of replacing it. So the reason why I have chosen to go with the Dollar Tree organizing containers is because all the fancy containers that you can buy on Amazon or in container stores or HomeSense or whatnot would not work for my family. Everybody in my house goes under the sink, uses the supplies that are in here, and putting things that would require opening, drawers that require opening or sliding open to get to things. I just know that especially my husband would not appreciate it. So I needed to find organization that was functional for the whole family because I not want that to discourage them from using the cleaning supplies. I am using Method all-purpose cleaner just to wipe, spray down and wipe anything that was on here stuck. There were a couple things that were kind of stuck on there, so just letting it soak up a little bit with the spray before I wiped it down worked really well. I don't love all these pipes that I have under here, or cords, or whatever they are, but they're necessary for our water filtration system, as well as stuff that's going into the dishwasher, so it's not like I can get rid of it. I guess it could be worse. In my old sink, I used to have a big RO tank here. Well, now we dropped it to the basement, so it not only opens up more space for things under the sink, but it also that you don't hear whenever the tank is filling up with water. It used to be quite loud, and you don't hear that anymore. So I like the fact that we have it in the basement now. So once this was cleaned, I just kind of looked at the bins that I was going to use. Now, I did not purchase any of these bins. They did all come from Dollar Tree, but I've had them on hand. I recently decluttered my craft room, which I did share some of it on my DIY channel. I will be sharing it later on this channel as well. I had gotten rid of a lot of stuff and ended up with a lot of empty bins, so I wanted to kind of repurpose those under the sink here because I knew I was going to need something. I had this large bin here that just wasn't working. It just was not working. So I ended up first thing decluttering the cleaning supplies, just getting rid of anything that was empty because there were a couple empty containers, getting rid of things that were falling apart, not working, like scrubbing pads, bottle cleaners, and things like that. So once I knew what I needed to organize, I have decided which bins to use. I do love the two-tiered storage solution that they have that you see everybody organizing with, and I did look at it. They had one on at HomeSense, but I just knew that it would have been, even though it's simple for me to use, it would have been too complicated for the rest of the family to use. So I opted up for this white container that holds all of the cleaning supplies that I use in the kitchen. So I have my countertop cleaner, I have glass cleaner for the sliding door, I have degreaser and stainless steel cleaner, an antibacterial cleaner, and an all-purpose cleaner. These are all things that I reach often when cleaning the kitchen, like the antibacterial cleaner and the all-purpose cleaner I use daily, and then everything else I use when I deep clean the kitchen. I also like to use Norwex cloths often, so I have those in a drawer beside the sink. I also want to say I don't stockpile on cleaning supplies. I do use a Scrub Daddy that I just buy 2 or 3 of just to have on hand, but I use a Norwex the meshy dishcloths that can be rewashed all the time, and I also use natural bristle brush cleaners because I do cook with a lot of stone and cast iron, and those don't even require soap, so I do use those, so that way I don't have to buy continuously. I don't use things that you have to replace on regular basis. I like things that I can use for a long periods of time. I did switch out a container for my soap as well. I just found the one that I was using was almost just a touch too small for the soap, so I ended up getting a little bit bigger one, and then I'm going to kind of try and match all the other containers here. I do love these white containers. I use them often. I used to use them in a freezer as well. The way my fridge freezer set up now is different, so I don't use containers like this, but I do love. The one thing that I wanted to do is for everything to be, all the containers in here to be the same color. I just think it's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So this container contains things for cleaning the stove and my sink, a stovetop and my sink. So I have the Norwex paste, I have the pink paste, I have the scrubber, there is an extra Scrub Daddy, and just a whole bunch of other scrubbing pads that I use that don't scratch surfaces but are tough enough to clean the dirt. And then the last container, I'm just going to use my compost bags. Now I still wanted to add my paper towel and my compost bin. I know that this setup wasn't going to house those, so I had to play around with it. And that's the thing, get containers, see what fits, what doesn't fit. You know, Dollar Tree, if you want the two-tiered look and don't want to spend the money, because some of them they're between $20 and $30 depending on which one you get. I am located in Canada, so the prices are more related to that. Some of them are you can find the two-tiered shelf, just a shelf that can make for 2 tiers, and you can add that here. You can add 2 of them to make it a little bit wider, and then have stuff underneath and have stuff on top. That could work too if you have a lot of things that you keep under the sink. There are many options out there that you can play around with, and that's the thing. Every sink is a different size. Mine is fairly large because I have a large sink. The one that I had in my other old kitchen, it was a little bit smaller, so I had to be really creative on how to store things that I want underneath. But here I don't like to store a lot of stuff under here, so it's just things that I use daily are in here. So like I said, I play around with it to see what works, what doesn't, until I am happy, satisfied, and things are easy and accessible that I use on a regular basis. I also want to say I do apologize for having a kind of a funny voice. I think I might be getting sick. I woke up with a very scratchy throat and a little bit of a hoarse sounding voice, so I do apologize for that. So I think I'm reaching the point where I'm liking the way things look. I was thinking about adding a little container just so I can put the Scrub Daddy that I'm using and the little brush in it when I'm not using it, but I didn't love the look of that, so I ended up not using it. Did have to pause here because the big guy had to get through, and he didn't have any room to do so. And here it is. I do love the way this turned out. I think it's a lot more functional, a lot more accessible. You can see what's what, where's what, and there's no need to not to be able to reach the cleaning supplies. They're all in here. You can see what they are, where everything is. I did stick things that I don't use daily to the back. Front is more things that I use daily. I do use sink cleaning supplies more often, but not necessarily daily. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and make sure you turn in Valentine's decoratings happening this week, as well as some more kitchen declutter by the end of the week. So until next time, hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you all so much for watching. So while that was airing out, I went ahead and cleaned the cupboards underneath it. I also wiped down the sides and the bottom of the island. The middle part I'll show you in just a little bit how I cleaned it. The internet taught me this one. If you guys been watching, you know I have this Joy mop that I only use for my baseboards and my walls. It does not get used for the floor, so I decided that I was going to use it on my cupboards. Obviously only on the big pantry cupboards as well as the sides of the island. I did have to, where the around my pantry, the drawers, I did have to clean those as well as to get into little crevices just with the rag, but the bulk of it, like the side of the pantry and the bulk of it, I did clean with the mop and just some gentle cleaner and or hot water. I did not boil water for this. When I wash my walls and my baseboards, I do boil water for it, but for this I did not boil it. I was too scared that it was going to do something to the cupboard, so I just did hot water.
I see it in your eyes. Yeah, I can read the signs. You need to get away. It's time we make a change. Oh, you know you'll always have me. Baby, I will always stay with you. So put your trust in me. We'll work it out, you'll see. If we get in a car and drive someplace far, yeah, we could go for a ride. The two of us, we don't have to stop. Baby, let's go for a ride. You and I, let us run away. We can go where we want. I'll have your back if you'll have mine. You and I wanna leave everything behind. If you wanted to, promise you we will be alright. If it's you and I want you to myself. We can stay in hotels, just living off the edge.
I did also wash the wall while I was at it as well.
Only good times ahead. So let me put a smile upon your face. Baby, make your worries go away. So put your trust in me. We'll work it out, you'll see. If we get in a car and drive someplace far, yeah, we could go for a ride. You and I, let us run away. We can go.
And now it was time to clean my stainless steel, so the fridge and the dishwasher still needed to be cleaned.
I'll have your back if you have mine. You and I wanna leave everything behind. If you wanted to, promise you we will be alright. If it's you and I.
The dishwasher was still running, so I did decide not to clean it quite yet, just because I wanted to clean the sides of it as well, and I didn't want to mess up the cycle, so I'm gonna have to do that off camera. I did go ahead and clean my stools, and then I also show you clips of me cleaning the grout. That's not a grout, I guess the grooves of the vinyl floor. This I do have to go on my knees and use a little scrubby to scrub clean.
Alright, if it's you and I.
Now, the funnest part of the kitchen, it is time to decorate it. So I will be wiping down the counters at this time as well. I did not do that yet, so I'm going to wipe down the counters and any tile that needs to be wiped down. I will clean that as well. I thrifted this basket a while back, and I like to keep my Alexa in here just because I find it so ugly, and I use it all the time when I'm cooking, so I like to have it in here kind of tucked away. And then I also keep my baby monitor in here for when I'm up here and the kids are sleeping, so I can have an ear on them. Most of the time chargers end up in here, and glass cleaners end up in here and all that stuff. So I just decluttered it and then just put what I need to be in here for now. I have also decided to bring my soda stream over. It was in that garage that had all my toaster and my kettle, but it was just way too crowded for it to be there. So I decided to bring it here. It did need it to be wiped down a little bit, and I was going to put it right in the corner, well, over by the basket. Just was trying to figure out which corner to put it in. I think this is going to be a better spot for it instead of being so crowded in the garage there. We do not, or I should say my husband doesn't like having too much stuff on the counters, but I feel like I need a little bit of decor just to break down the whiteness. So I will be adding just a little decor here. I have a little easel that's going to hold a cookbook that I've been using quite a bit. It is the cookbook is called The Perfect Loaf, and I've been using it quite a bit for baking bread, so I thought it would be perfect to have it sitting here. Now I'm going to move on to the opposite side of the stove, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start off by wiping everything down, and then I'm going to add some decor. And I usually like to add a little bit of wood in here, like I said, just to soften up the white. So I'm going to add some of these cutting boards. I did thrift these. Well, actually, a friend of mine thrifted them for me. She does thrift store a lot more often than I do. So whenever she finds things that she thinks I like, she usually sends me pictures of it and then picks them up if I want them. The issue that I have with these two sides is to find the right balance of decor, to kind of have a balance, and I always struggle with that. So I will be playing around a little bit here with that as well.
Young, and we didn't want to be exposed. Even though it was cold, we were never wearing proper clothes. Always trying to be cool, trying to be those bad guys, smoking cigarettes behind the school. Always trying to be cool, trying to be those bad guys, you know. I still think about what we had when we were younger. We were never running out of time. As long as we had each other, oh, everything was black and white. Driving in a car, never knowing how far we go. When we were younger, when we were younger, I remember a girl. I would sneak into her parents' house. I could stay for hours, and we looked into each other's eyes. Hey, I thought I was Romeo, I was looking for my Juliet. And as soon as I left, I told my friends. Those days made me who I am. When we were younger, we were never running out of time. As long as we had each other, everything was black and white. Driving in a car, never knowing.
Now I'm going to move over to my island and give it a good wipe down before I add any decor to it.
Say something like you love me and make my day, like you always do, like you always do. Hold my hand and look me in the eyes so I can tell you how I feel, tell you how I feel. Every day something new. If I spend it with you, with you, with you. Oh, I want you right now, and I need you right now, you right now.
So I went in with some fresh flowers from the garden, just some branches, and because I've been loving how that looks over in my dining room, so I went ahead and did the same look here. I have not figured out what I want to put into that basket, so it will be into that bowl, I mean, so it will be empty for now.
My world is spinning round, round, around.
want you now, now, now. My world is spinning round, round, round. And I want you now, and I want you now, and I want you now.
And now I'm going to decorate my floating shelves in my coffee bar. This is definitely a collection of thrifted items, as well as different types of textures and materials. I've got stone, I've got ceramic, wood, and then I also have lots of gold touches here.
I lose my breath whenever I see you. You stole my heart, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors. Like the moon needs the sun, we don't care about the others. You set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire. I don't know what I'd do without you. You make me smile, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors. Like the moon is the sun, we don't care about the others. You set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire. I just want you, I just need you. I don't know what it is you do. I just want you, I just need you. I don't know what it is you do. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Just tell me you'll stay or take me away.
And this concludes this long video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you did. Leave me down a comment. Are you guys almost done your spring cleaning? Finished it a long time ago or haven't even started? I would love to know. So until next time, hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you all so much for watching.
Friendship times, another drink and I'll go anywhere. The way you smile, like a flash in the universe. You are illuminating. I don't really care about the people in the bar line. I don't really mind all the woo goes doing stage dives. I don't care at all, baby. You got my attention. So you were saying, I don't see the logic of things. It's quite a lonely world that we're living in. Oh, baby, you are something special, I'm sure. Everything makes total sense when you're next to me.
Well, this completes my mega marathon video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you all in my next video. Thanks so much for watching.